Hello everyone. So this is our fourth lecture on the series of tutorials on SolidWorks. So in today's lecture we discuss about how to constrain the various entities in the SolidWorks, how to make sure that the sketch is fully defined or not. So regarding this we will discuss all the various parameters and how to constrain. So before starting we must know how many types of constraints we have in our software. So I'll show you this slide here. So you can see we have an option of constraining the various entities with basically these three constraints. First one is geometrical constraint, second one is dimensional constraint, and third one is constraint through region. Okay, so these constraints are very useful to make drawings fully defined. With the help of these constraints you can make the drawings as per your requirement, with surety of that these drawings are fully defined and they are easy to import to 3D module. Okay, so geometrical constraints are those constraints which are used to make the entity, such as like if you want to make the line parallel to one other line, you want to make one line perpendicular to another line, you want to make horizontal lines, you want to make vertical line a vertical, okay, and you want to make sure that a line is coincident with some other point, or you want to join two points, then we use merge. So these are geometrical constraints. Geometrical constraints are basically those constraints which helps you to orientate the entity as per the constraints applied to them, such as parallel, perpendicular, horizontal, vertical, and so more, and many more. In software we can see a number of these constraints, geometrical constraints. Second is dimensional constraints. Dimensional constraints are used where you give some dimensions to the entity, like vertical distance, horizontal distance, radius of the circle, diameter of the circle, arc length, fillet radius, chamfer dimensions. So these dimensions are used to give certain credential to your drawings. Okay, so dimensional constraints are used when you want to give some dimensions to your entity. Then last one is constraint through region. So this type of constraint is used when your drawing is not made at origin. You draw your drawing anywhere on the work area on the screen, and you want to make sure that when you apply these both two, geometrical and dimensional constraints, but still your drawing is not fully defined. So in the last you constrain it through region, then your drawing will be fully defined. So we discuss various examples today, that how we will constrain all the drawings, how we will use these constraints to make our drawings fully defined. So in SolidWorks they are also called relations, as I can show you here. These are also called relations because in SolidWorks they are not called constraints, they are called relations. In CATIA we call them as constraints. So both the functions of both the words are same. Okay, now coming on to our software. So this is our software. Now you can see we start with a new file here. Now select the part and then click OK. Now as you can see this is your work area. A new window of sketch module is open. Now select the front plane to draw something. Go to sketch toolbar and click sketch here. Okay, now let us say I draw two lines of any length, of any characteristic value, and in any direction. Okay, so I pick up line here. I started from here, and like this I again press escape to enter the command. Okay, now again I pick this line command here, and again draw two lines with random dimension, with the random direction also. Okay, so let us say these two lines, there are four lines with a group of two. Okay, two lines here, two lines here. Now you can see these lines are not of same length, these lines are not parallel or perpendicular to each other, these lines are not in proper direction. Okay, so what I do, I apply the constraints or relations so that these lines become a square or a rectangle. Okay, so what I do, I just click this line when I select this line, you can see the color of the line becomes sky blue. And in this property manager of the line, you can see on the left hand side, you can see the relations, add relation option here. You want to horizontal the line, you want to make a vertical line, you want to fix the line. So now the fixed relation is very used when your constraints are not working at all. Okay, so this relation can be used at the end of the option when you don't have any options to make things constraints are fully defined. Then you can use fix. Otherwise, don't use fix for make the drawings fully defined, because when you fix the things, it is very difficult to make constraints again. So it's recommended that don't use fix. Instead of that, use relations to make drawings fully defined. Okay. Now you can see here, when I click this line or select this line, our property manager shows add relation tab here. Now with the help of these relation tab, you can make line horizontal, you can make line vertical, and so on. So these are basically your geometrical constraints. Previously I told you how many types of constraints we have and what are their examples. So here you can see these are geometrical constraints. These helps you make the entity. So entity is here our line. Okay, these helps you make your entity as per the relations you want. Okay, so I want this line horizontal because this line is not horizontal, it is inclined to certain angle at somewhere in the space. Okay, so I just click horizontal here. Now you can see the line becomes straight and horizontal. Fine, and you can see a green logo of horizontal constraint here, a green box with a straight line in it. Okay, again I select this line, this line here. Now I want this line vertical, so I just click vertical here. Now you can see this line becomes vertical. Previously it is, I can show you previously how it is. Previously it is like this. Original position of your entities is like this, but when we apply constraints, you can see your things become in a proper manner. Fine. Still our system is not fully defined. You can see here in the bottom it is written right now under defined. Okay, again what I do, I click this line. Now it comes to the second entity we draw. Now click this line and make it vertical, click this line and make it horizontal. Now you can see all the lines are horizontal and all the lines are 90 degrees to each other and they are properly arranged. Second thing, now they are not, we don't know whether they are equal or whether they are of same dimensions. Okay, so to make them equal, what we do, we select these two lines. Let us say I select this horizontal line and this horizontal line. Now how to select two entities here? Now click the first entity, select, press Ctrl on a keyboard, make it press, and then select the second entity. So in this software SolidWorks, when you select multiple entities, you make sure that you press Ctrl continuously. Okay, and when you select all the entities, release the Control button on your keyboard. Okay, so this is how I can select multiple entities in the SolidWorks. So these two lines, I want these two lines of equal length. So you can see here, now when in the property manager add relation, previously it is written as horizontal, vertical and fixed. Now we see there are number of other relations or constraints are appear now when you select these two lines. Now I want these two lines to be equal here, so I press equal. When I press equal, you can see a logo appears of as a green in a green box, appears in equal structure on both sides. Okay, so this means that constraint is applied. It means that constraint is applied. Now these two horizontal lines are of equal length. Similarly, I select this vertical line, press Ctrl on your keyboard, make it press here and select this line. Now release the Control button. Select first line, select second line, and also make them equal. Make sure these vertical lines are also equal. So I press equal here. Now again a logo of equal appears in the drawing here. It means the constraint is applied. Now this is how you can make sure that when the drawings or the entity you draw here are of equal lengths are in proper arrangement. So two constraints, only one constraint is applied right now, that is called geometrical constraint. You just make sure that the drawings are horizontal, entities are horizontal, vertical, perpendicular, parallel, equal. So this type of functions you use, they are comes under geometrical constraints. Now what I do, I want to join these two entities to make a square. So what I do, I just select this point, press Ctrl, select this point, and make sure they are merged. When you join point, they are called merge. When you join point and line, they become coincident. Okay, so I click merge here. In the add relation, in the property manager, you automatically see a relation here. Okay, now you can see a box is created. Whether I don't know whether it's a square or a rectangle, because I didn't give the dimensional constraint right now. I don't know how much dimension it is, but I know that these all lines are equal. They are, of same length, and they join to form a square or a box or a rectangle. Okay, now what you can see, this still the drawing is not fully defined because the color is blue. When the drawing is fully defined, the color becomes black. Okay, it must be kept in your mind when you define the things. When you make sure that the drawing is fully defined, then the lines color becomes black. Okay, now in condition when the lines are in blue, you can drag them, you can edit them. See, you can make more out of it. You can increase their length, you can increase the width, increase the dimensions, anything. You can drag them anywhere. So this is how you can scale it down, up. So when the drawing is in blue color, it means you can edit it, you can move it, you can changes, you can make any changes in it. Okay, now another type of constraint, second constraint now apply to make the drawings fully defined, is that giving dimensions to it. Now what I do, I just go to smart dimension here, click this line and give dimension as 150. Okay, now dimensions are dynamic in nature right now, and again I just click this vertical line and give the dimension as 100. See, now the second, now press escape to cancel the dimension command here. You can see still the drawing is not fully defined. Why? It is still in blue color. So it must be in black color to make sure drawing is fully defined. So I give geometrical constraints, I give dimensional constraint, or you can say relations, anything as per your requirement. Okay, so I give the dimensions, I will give the geometrical constraints, I will give the dimensional. Now last option we have to make sure that your drawing is constrained through origin. Now where is the origin? You can see origin here. This is our origin, this is the 0, 0 of this drawing, the 0, 0 of our working space. Okay, now third type of constraint is that your drawing must be constraining through origin. So you can choose any of the corner, any of the line here. So you can choose any corner of this box, or you can say rectangle, or because how I know that is rectangle, because I give the dimension, that is this is horizontal is 150 and this becomes 100. It means it's a rectangle here. Now you can choose any corner of this rectangle to join it with the origin. Okay, another thing that you select any line, any one line from these 4 lines to coincide with this origin. Okay, again it will become constrained with the origin and it will become fully defined. So what I do, I just select this corner here and press Ctrl and select the origin point. When I select these 2 points, there is a relation which is named as coincident here. Why coincident? Because this is origin here and this is the point. Now when I press coincident here, see what happens. Your drawing is now fully defined here. It is fully constrained. How I know that? Its color is black right now. Previously it is blue, now it becomes black. And in the bottom you can see a new word appears, that is called fully defined. So this is how you can use the relations or constraints to make your drawings fully defined. Okay, So in SolidWorks, what you do, you make sure to use these relations in a greater extent, okay, to avoid any mistakes in while converting drawings 2D to 3D. Okay, so make sure that you use these relations or constraints in a greater extent, okay, and avoid giving dimensions every time, because when you use relations or constraints, you make things more simpler, from complex to simplicity. Okay, so this is how you can do constraining, this is how you can give constraints, and this is how you can make drawings fully defined in the SolidWorks. And the color of fully defined drawings must be black. It should be black. Okay, so now when I select any of these lines, you can see I can't drag them. Why? Because they are now fixed. It is fixed with this origin. Okay, I can't move this line, I can't move this line, I can't move any of these lines, I can't move any of these corners also. Why? Because they are fully defined now. They have their origin and they're starting from this point. So it is my opinion that you must start your drawings from the origin, because when you start your drawing from the origin, your 50% work of constraining is first finished in that time, and 50% remaining you apply those constraints in geometrical constraint or dimensional constraint, and your drawing will be completely defined. So this is how you can constrain any of these things. Now I will show you some other example here. I just go back, Control Z. Now you can see when I don't make this drawing constraint through region, you can see when I drag this drawing, the whole box moves. Why? Because I give the dimensional constraint to it. When I don't give the dimensional constraint to it, the box can move in any direction, anywhere, of any length. But when I define the length to this box, you can see the whole of the box moves from one point to another. So this is how you can constrain the objects dimensionally, that this entity is of only 150 millimeter length, and this will remains of 150. It doesn't changes to 160 or 140. Similarly, if you give 100 to this width, it remains 100, not 90 or 110 or not even 99. Okay, so now I also want to constrain this box with this origin also. Okay, so there is some other method by which you can make sure that this box can be constrained. Previously what we do, we use this corner and we select the origin and coincide with them, so that your box will become fully defined and black in color. But now I choose some other method. So what I do, I just select this dimension. Let me delete these dimensions first. I select a center line from here, okay, and pass it through the region. Let me take another center line horizontally. See, when I just drag my mouse along the region, a path is, a guiding path is observed on the screen. So just make sure that you just select the point where the guiding path shows you. Okay, so this is your center lines. Now I want to make this rectangle or a box. This box makes this box a fully constrained box or fully defined box with the help of these center lines. So for this I use symmetric constraint here. So what I do, I select this line, press Ctrl, make it press, select this line, and then select this line. Okay, select these three lines. First the elements you want to make symmetry, and lastly the element about which you want to make symmetry. So this is the center line at which I want to make symmetry, and these are the lines which I want to make symmetry. Okay, so I just press symmetric here in property manager. You can see the add relation tab here. I press symmetric. When I press symmetric, it means from this line from this center line, the distance of this line, left side line, is similar to the distance of right hand side line from this center line. Okay, these two distances become same. Now if the length of the box is 150, then it becomes 75 and 75. Okay, if it is 100, then it becomes 50 and 50. Fine. Again, what I do, I select this line. See, it's very easy. Just select the entity you want to make symmetry first, and then select the center line about which you want to make symmetric. Okay, so again press Ctrl, select this line, make it press Ctrl and select this line. Now you can see in the property manager we have a symmetric toolbar, so I just click symmetric here. Okay, so this is how you can symmetric this box along the origin. So from this side the distance remains same in both the direction. If it is 100, it becomes 50 above, 50 downwards. Okay, so now lastly I give just dimensions to it. So let us say the dimension of this is 100. See, it expands in both the direction by keeping in mind that it becomes 50 above and 50 downwards. Similarly, I give dimension to this. Let us say it is 200, so it becomes 100 and 100. Press escape to end the command of dimension. Now you can see the whole of the box is fully defined, and it is written here in the down direction. You can see downward here in the bottom, it is written as fully defined, and your color is black in now, and your structure is fully constrained and fully defined. Now your structure will not move in any direction if you want to drag it. See, I can't move any of these lines. I can't move any corners from here, this side. Okay, so this is how you can constrain things in this software. So there are basically three types of constraints. First one is geometrical constraints, second one is dimensional constraints, and third one is constraining through region. So this is how you can use constraints. Okay, now I can give you some other example. Just select this first, delete this item, make sure your origin is at center point somewhere here. Now what I do, I just select a line here of any length. I don't need to give any dimension right now. And if you want to just make sure that this line become black in color, how will you give? You just give make sure that this point must lie or coincide with this origin also. Okay, must lie along this origin. So I select this point, I select this origin, and you can make it horizontal. So when I click horizontal here, see these two green logo appears. It means that this point of this line, start point of this line, and the origin are lie in a same plane or in same line. Okay, and if I give dimension to this line, let us say I give dimension as 75, still it is blue. Okay, so what I do, I just give some dimension from this side also. So you can give dimension, or you make sure that this point lies along this origin. They are in same line. So what I do, I just select this point, control and this origin, and give vertical. See what happens now. Now this point and this origin are in same line, and this point and this origin is in same line. Still it is, you can see it moves still. Okay, but you can see this happens right now. So when the line is blue in color, there are some motions, there are some movements, and how to avoid them. Now the first you did is you providing the geometrical constraint to the system. You make sure that your origin and that point become horizontal. You make sure that your origin and the second point of the line becomes vertical. Now I want to give dimensional constraint to it. Okay, so give some dimensions from this point to origin. Let us say it should be 60. Okay, see what happens now. Any of these dimensions, whether horizontal or whether vertical, if any of these dimensions are given to this line, the line becomes fully defined. So this is how you can make single entities fully defined in this system. So it comes with practice. When you do more practice on the software, you will get some tips and tricks, you will know how to make things in a proper manner. Okay, so no need to worry what happens is you can't understand it, but still if you do some practice you will understand how the things happen here. Okay, now this is the constraining of a single entity with the origin and providing with the dimensional and geometrical constraints. Okay, now let me draw a circle here somewhere, anywhere. No need to provide some radius or dimension to it. Okay, what I want this circle to be tangent with this line. Fine. One way is that you drag the circle from the center and place here. Now what happens when you zoom it, it doesn't mean that it contact with it. There is a gap between circle and a line. Okay, so what you do, you can make sure to use constraints. So there are certain geometrical constraints which make line and circle contact with each other or tangent with each other. Okay, how you can do it? Select the circle, select this line by pressing Control. Make sure you press the Control when you select both the entities. Okay, when both the selected entities are selected, in Add Relation Property Manager you can see Add Relation tab, you can see a tangent constraint here or relation. So just click tangent here. Okay, now when you click tangent, you can see the circle become tangent to this line. But what happens now that this circle is not touching with this line, but you can see this circle is tangent by providing this dotted line here. Okay, so you can drag the circle downward. See, it becomes tangent always. So you can make sure to zoom it, and you can see the line, there is no gap between line and the circle. And you can see a new logo here of tangent. These green logos comes when your constraints apply. So the tangent constraint is applied here, or tangent relation is applied here, and this circle becomes tangent to it. But still the structure is your circle is blue in color. Okay, so why it is blue? Because we didn't give any radius or diameter to the circle. So let's give some diameter. Click Smart Dimension here and let me give a diameter of 25. See, still it is blue in color. Okay, and what we do now, we can give some vertical or horizontal dimension of this center point from the region so that the circle become black in color. So I just give Smart Dimension, click the center of the circle, click the origin. If you want to give vertical dimension, drag your mouse like this, and if you want to give this horizontal dimension, drag your mouse like this. Okay, so let us say I give some vertical dimension to the circle. Let us say it should be 20. Now you can see the circle is also black in color. Circle become tangent to the line. Circle have certain dimension value, that is 25 in diameter, and the circle center is 20 millimeter above from the origin. See, or you can give vertical horizontal distance also, no issues. Again your circle will become black in color. So this is how you can give tangents or constraint to the circle and a line. Okay, or I can show you some more example in this. Let me draw a rectangle here. 2-point or corner rectangle I use, and let us say I want to make this circle tangent to these two lines, horizontal as well as vertical. So what I do, I select this circle, I select this line and give tangent relation. Fine, and again I want to select this circle, press Control, select this line, and then again tangent. So this is how you can make sure that your drawing your circle is tangent to both these two lines. And you can make it black also, no issues, fully defined. What do? You just give dimension to these entities. You can give dimension to the circle and make sure that this entity is lie with this origin. So what do? You make sure it is horizontal. Fine. So this is how, see, one line is black. Why? It is constrained through region. So what we do, we constraining it through region, and if you give some dimension to it, let us say it is 100 and it should be around 75. Now two lines are constrained, and if you make sure that this movement is there, only horizontal movement is there, Okay, lateral movement is here, no like this vertical movement is 0. Why? Because I give certain dimension, I give some line or alignment to this of this corner with the origin. That's why it is moving along horizontal direction only. It will not move in upward direction or downward direction, because I fix the movement of this rectangle. And what I do, I just give certain dimension of this line or the corner from this origin. Let us say it should be 100. Now what happens? This rectangle becomes black and it is fully defined. Now, but whole of the drawing is not fully defined. Why? Because this circle is still underdefined. It can move up and down, it can expand, okay. So, but it's still tangent to this lines, because we apply the constraint of tangency here. It doesn't mean that if you drag this circle here and there, your tangency will remove. No, tangency will be there unless you can see here, if I drag the circle to maximum extent, what happens? It is still tangent to these line. If you draw the dotted line here, still tangent to it, still, okay. So if you give certain dimension to this circle or some diameter to this circle, it will get constrained. So let me give some 30. Okay, so this is how the drawing becomes fully defined. Now you can see a word fully defined appears in the bottom, and all the drawings are black in color. All the points on the line, all the entities, circles, dimensions are given in every aspect and drawing is fully constrained. Fine. So this is how you can use relations to make drawings fully constrained, fully defined. And it must be kept in mind that you can use relations in a greater extent accepting the dimensions. Okay, you can give dimensions, but don't give so many dimensions. Now what happens if you give so many of the dimensions, many of the dimensions, what happens? Your drawings become complex. It's very difficult to understand what dimensions you skip, what dimensions you want to give. Fine. So make sure that your drawings is fully defined. So for that you use relation in a very greater extent. Make sure that you use relations in much more as compared to the giving dimensions to the things. You can use symmetry, you can use tangency constraint, you can use horizontal, vertical, perpendicular, parallel, okay, midpoint, or you can use those coincidence, merge. So there are a number of relations as per your requirements. So you can use any of these relations or constraints to make drawings fully defined. Okay, fine. So I think this much is much useful lectures today about how to constrain things. In the next lecture we discuss other concept of these constrainings, and we make some drawings so that our constraining part can be, or dimension, or your sketch part can be easily applicable or easily feasible, that these things happen in the software. Because these are just examples, these are just example how to make tangency, how to make vertical, how to align those things. But when you make actual drawings you have to apply relation on those drawings also. Okay, so in the next lecture we discuss about how to apply these commands on our drawings, and further later on we discuss these commands, some commands like trim entities, convert entities, offset entities, mirrors, linears, move entities. So this part of sketch is still remaining, and this can be discussed in the later lectures or series when we do it on. And so thanks for your support and thanks for your watching.